Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be debunking several credit building myths, telling you what is true and what is false, and also sharing ways you can improve your credit score in 3 months as an immigrant in the UK who doesn't have previous credit history in this country, and how you can go about building that so you can access credit facilities. Without further hesitation, let's get right into it. This video is going to be broken down into 3 parts. The first is I'm going to be detailing what a credit score is. Second thing, why you need to have a good credit score. Thirdly, how to improve your credit score with no previous credit history. And then lastly, I'm going to be debunking myths regarding building your credit score and what is true and what is false. The first thing is, what is a credit score? A credit score is basically a number that assesses how trustworthy you are as a borrower. So like, how good a borrower are you? Are you able to pay back debts that you owe? It just basically shows your financial trustworthiness. Before a lender or a bank gives you money, they want to know that if they give you this money, you can pay back this money. And then your credit report is like your financial CV. It shows your financial links, your credit history, and just how trustworthy you are with money. So credit score, it's a number. It ranges from 0 to 999. A good credit score will be anywhere between 861 and 960. Then an excellent credit score will be 960 to 999. So what you need to know is that there are 3 credit reference agencies. So basically they are the bodies, or they are the people that will give you a credit score. So in the UK, there's TransUnion, there's Equifax, and there's Experian. They are called credit reference agencies, so CRAs. So each of them has like different ranges of what a good, a poor, a fair, and an excellent credit score looks like. So I'm going to put a screenshot up here so you can see it. So why is your credit score important? Credit score is important because in order for you to access credit facilities, you need to have a good credit score, because that credit score signals to lenders or to banks just how much of a financial risk you're going to be to them. So a low credit score is going to imply a high financial risk for them. It means if they loan you money, you might not pay back, you might default. But then a good credit score shows that you are low risk. So when they give you money, they have some sort of confidence that you're going to pay back. And also, credit score becomes really important when you're trying to take out a huge credit product like a mortgage. Taking out a mortgage is a huge financial undertaking. When you're trying to apply for mortgages, your credit score and your credit history is going to be thoroughly looked at. So it's very important for you to start building this. And the truth is, the sooner you start, the better. So I'm going to be sharing ways on how you can start building that fast and get your credit score up within the next 3 months. So the very first way to improve your credit score is to check your credit score. And there are several sites where you can check it, but one that I use is called Check My File. Why I like this site is that it shows you your credit report from the 3 credit reference agencies. So you're going to see your reports from TransUnion, from Equifax, from Experian. You can see what information they have and what they don't have. Why I always suggest this as the first step is so you can actually see the information that the credit reference agencies have about you, and you can also see if there are any errors. I have spoken to several people who, upon checking their credit reports, they realized there were so many errors. Like there was one that the address that was on the person's profile was not an address that they had lived at before. So it's worth checking it so you can fix any errors. With Check My File, you can check your history for 30 days free. So after 30 days you have to pay, but I mean, you can just log in, download your file, and look into it, and cancel the subscription if you're not ready to pay. Other sites where you can check your credit score for free includes Credit Karma, even Experian. You can go on Experian and check it. So it's just very important that you check. So when you look at your credit report, what information is actually there? I'm looking at my credit report so I can just read it out. The first is active account payment history. So they are going to look into your bank accounts and like how active you are with making your payments. Okay, there's also like credit card on this. Okay, and then there's all my bank accounts are listed, and like my payments that I make is all listed here. Also, even my closed account payment history, so they can see the bank accounts that I've actually closed previously is all listed here in my credit report. And then also electoral roll, like am I registered to vote, is here. Financial association, so people that I'm linked to financially, is also reported in this report. And then linked addresses, it also has a database of all the addresses that I have lived at in the UK. Another thing is search activity. I can also see who has checked into my reports. For example, I can see that when we're trying to get a mortgage, I can see that my mortgage lender actually checked my report. So you can see like who is actually looking into your reports as well. So basically that's it. Those are the contents of your report. Now the second step obviously is if you notice any errors, anything that needs to be changed, reach out to them to edit it, change whatever information is incorrect, or like challenge any information you think is incorrect and get the right thing imputed into your credit report. Next way to build your credit score is to pay your bills on time and ensure that your name is on the bills. So if you're a student, for example, and you're living in a place that is all bills inclusive, so this means like once a month you pay money to your landlord, that is good, but that does not really help you build your credit score. And that's because like you're not the one actively paying those bills. It's your landlord that is actually paying those bills. So it would be good if you actually pay utility yourself. If you're married or living with a partner and one of you guys have all your names on the utility bills and the other person doesn't have, that's not an ideal situation. You want to ensure that as much as possible you are actively putting your names on some utility bills and paying those bills. Do you get me? If you're a student who does all bills inclusive, I'm going to share other ways as well that you can build your credit score aside from putting your name on utility bills. And another important thing here with regarding paying your bills on time is setting up direct debits. One way to show to lenders that you can be trustworthy is with direct debits. When they see that there's money that leaves your account on a particular day concurrently and you always make that payment on time, it helps with your financial trustworthiness. The next way to build your credit score is to register to vote at your current address. So why I say at your current address is, for example, I've moved houses, I'm on the electoral roll but it's at my other address, so I have to update it to this address. So if you just moved into the UK as well, or if you're a migrant to the UK, you need to register to vote. So simply just Google register on the electoral roll, you would see the government website and you can go there and register your details. Registering to vote is definitely one way to boost your credit score, so ensure that you are on the electoral roll. The next way to build your credit score is to maybe consider getting a credit card. This can be a bit controversial because some people are like, you don't need this, some are like, you need it. But like in the instance where, for example, you're a student who pays all bills inclusive, getting a credit card is one of the ways to really boost your credit score and to start building credit history. The problem a lot of migrants face is you oftentimes maybe would apply for a credit card and you won't get accepted because there's not enough credit history for them to give you that credit card. But then you're like, I need credit cards so I can have credit history, and you're like in this dilemma. There are products called credit building credit cards. So these credit cards are specifically for people that don't have like a credit history in the UK. If you Google, you find a couple. When I had to get a credit card, I went for the Barclays Forwards credit card. Now the thing with these credit cards that are for building your credit is that the interest rates can be very high, okay? And then also the limits, the amount that they'll put on that credit card will be like maybe £1,000 or even less than that, because they see you as a high risk. So it's very important that if you're using this credit card, you show some financial responsibility. You clear off your credit cards every month, like try to clear off the full balance and not just the minimum balance. And also your credit utilization, you want to keep it under 30%. So what this means is if the credit card has a limit of £1,000, it means when you're spending from that credit card monthly, you should not spend more than £300 per month. The more you are utilizing credit, it signals to lenders that you're heavily dependent on credit and you don't want to be in that situation. The next way to build your credit score quick is to not apply for different credit facilities at the same time. You guys, it's so crazy. So what this means is, just like I said, you can use a credit card. It doesn't mean you're going to apply for 4 or 5 credit cards at the same time, because that's definitely going to impact your credit score, because it's going to signal that, oh, this person is trying to get credit here, 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 and here. It's like something is going on with their finances. You get it? So you want to avoid, taking out so many credit facilities at the same time, or like financial products at the same time, because this would impact your credit score. Another way you can build your credit score is to take out smaller forms of credit. So what this means is, maybe if you don't want to take out a credit card because it's a huge undertaking and you have to be careful how you use credit, you can take out something like maybe a phone contract where you buy a phone and you repay it every month and you clear that out. That's a smaller form of credit that you can probably consider taking out. Also, you have like store cards like Tesco cards, Sainsbury cards. You can use those ones as well to build your credit score. Another way to build your credit score is to look at your financial associations, okay? who are you linked to financially. So if you're maybe married, or you're with or you have a partner where you have like a joint credit product, so for example you open a joint account together, you should know now that your credit score will be also linked to that person. So if that person has a bad credit score, it's likely going to impact yours because you have a shared credit product. Okay, so it's very important that you check your financial associations and ensure to cut any associations that are linked to you if they are not helping you and only like impacting your credit score negatively. Another way to build your credit score is to consider the length of your credit history. So what I mean by this is, if you must close an account, it's best for you to leave the account that you've had for the longest time. So like the longer you have a bank account open, the more it signals trustworthiness to lenders and to banks. Do you get me? So like my point is, if you must close your bank account, maybe you're trying to close bank accounts, leave the account that you've had open for the longest time, because that's actually going to help your credit score. For example, when I moved into this country, I opened a Barclays account, and actually I wanted to close that account because I wasn't using it anymore. But I'm like, no, that's the bank account that I've had for the longest time, so I'm not going to close that. This was at the time when I was trying to build my credit score to get a mortgage. I was like, no, I'm not going to close that. I'm going to leave it open. Maybe after I get my mortgage and everything, I can close it, right? So you want to ensure that you're considering the length of your credit history. Don't close out accounts that you've had for the longest time. So at this point, I'm going to be debunking some credit building myths, some things I've heard people say and people ask me just to help you get it right. So the very first myth is that digital banks do not improve your credit score or do not add anything to your credit score. This is not true. So for example, I have a Monzo account. It's an online bank. It is literally in my credit report. It is in my credit report. It is part of my financial footprint, okay? So using an online bank for your payments and everything is also gonna be captured. So you don't have to be like, oh, you have to stick to just traditional accounts. No, your activities on online bank accounts also impact your credit score. The second myth is that your income impacts your credit score. So basically, if you have a high income, you have a high credit score. That's not how it works, okay? Your income shows your ability to pay back a loan, not necessarily your financial risk. So somebody can be earning like, let's say, £80,000 a year, and this person can actually have a poor credit score because they don't like pay back credits on time, or they're not actively building their credit. And then someone with £24,000 salary a year could have a better, like an excellent credit score because like pay their bills on time, clear out their credit balances, they have accounts that they've had open for a long time, okay? So it's not necessarily about your income, it's more about your financial stewardship, okay? The third myth is that all credit reports are the same, and this is not true. It is not true. Not all credit reports are the same. Just like I said, there are 3 credit reference agencies, and some of them might have an information that the other one does not have. So it's worth looking at all 3 to see the information they have about you, because each one is different, if you get me. Next myth is that checking your score impacts your credit score or lowers your credit score, and this is not true. When you check your credit score, it is considered a soft check. A soft check means a check on your credit history that is not going to impact your credit score. So when you check your credit score yourself, it's a soft check. It's not gonna negatively impact your credit score. So check it as much as you want to, and just be sure that everything there looks right. The last myth is that a perfect score is very important, and this is not true. Once again, it's good to have a good credit score, but you should not kill yourself trying to have like 999 over 999. This is not school, okay? Nobody's gonna applaud you for having 999 over 999. Do you get me? As long as your credit score is good, you're going to be able to access credit facilities. You don't have to get it like to the highest point it can be. Just ensure like it is at a good place. As long as it's good, in the range of what's classed as good, you will have access to credit facilities. Alright guys, so I hope this video helps. Let me know if you have any questions, comments or concerns. Leave it in the comments below. Till next time guys, thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.